runs to 55, chips it to the advantage of Hipwood, couldn't quite hang on, but we'll get a free kick. Sorko will pay advantage and kick a goal in his 200th.
Yeah, you're right, Richo. As he landed there, he's grabbed his left knee as he landed awkwardly, so they've taken him off and look like they're going to take him straight down to assess him. I'll come back when we use it.
Yeah, I don't remember a hell of a lot from the Saints game. I remember it being in the first quarter and that we weren't playing our best. On the bench, I was actually in quite positive spirits and was trying to put a brave face on for us and trying to help out where I could. But yeah, we obviously ended up getting beaten quite comfortably, and the Saints, they were just really too good for us on the night. So I sort of got told from the surgeon when I was going in for a meeting with him that I'd done my ACL, but also did my meniscus and my medial, so he described it as the ugly trifecta. It all unfolded really, really quickly, and I did it on the Saturday, stayed on the Gold Coast Saturday night, tried to go to the beach Sunday morning, but could hardly walk on the sand. Was in surgery on Tuesday. I was pretty much bedridden, and I was lucky because the Olympics had just started, so I was watching pretty much everything and learnt a fair bit of sports that I didn't know, and I've actually got more of an appreciation for things like shooting and things like that, and got to learn a bit, but didn't do a hell of a lot the first I think it was the first 3 weeks. I didn't really go into the club, and I was on crutches meant to be on crutches for 8 weeks, and I was for probably around 6 to 7, but was in a big brace, sleeping in a brace, and that was probably for about 12 weeks. So it was a bit slow early days, and just because I did a little bit more damage than just the standard ACL, I had to be in that brace and had to be a little bit more cautious, as it was a pretty important part in my rehab early days. So the thing that sort of got me through is that a lot of my rehab was during the off season. So even though I was grinding off by myself and doing sports like swimming and being on the bike, and it was by myself, which did suck, and I certainly gotten more of an appreciation for individual sports. But I think knowing that everyone else was grinding, and it was the pre-season, or the off-season and the pre-season, that's when my rehab majority was. So in the bigger picture, it really wasn't too many games, but it was 10 months, which also is a long time. But the way I looked at it was, I've missed 8 games last year and missed 8 games this year, so it was sort of only a 16-week rehab, and that's the way I looked at it mentally, and that's what got me through. But the little wins were just like being able to run and being able to walk again and take the brace off, get rid of the crutches, and I learned to celebrate those a little bit more.
There's Eric Hipwood. We know that, as we said, let's just keep an eye on him. We don't expect too much from him in his first game back from a knee, Rico, but just to have him out there, he's going to help that Brisbane Lions side, particularly in the front half.
Yeah, I was really, really excited. I mean, there was a bit of unknown whether or not I was going to go through the VFL or the AFL, but the thing that sucked is the VFL had a bye, so I was actually trying to push to play the week before when the VFL had a game, and we played West Coast. So I mean, it probably got highlighted a little bit more because we had Joe go down against Sydney and then Dan go down against West Coast, so there's probably a little bit more hype around it. But it was always planned that I was going to come back that Adelaide game, whether it was I spend a couple more weeks in the VFL or the AFL. I wasn't fussed. I was happy to do either or, and it just happened to be that those two boys went down, and I was happy to go in and fill a role. And Fags had a lot of confidence in me to pick me, and he did the same with Kitty Coleman. Kitty missed 8 weeks, and I think he went in and played pretty well. So that's probably what gave Fags a little bit more confidence to go through and actually pick me. Yeah, well, the thing that was probably more enjoyable was passing off a couple in the Adelaide game and being able to be a part of just running out and being with your best mates and be able to play footy with them, and just celebrating little wins and obviously winning after a game. One thing I've really missed is that 30 minutes after a win and just celebrating with your teammates and talking about what you've just gone through. So,
Generally the case, second up after a long spell. Can he join the list of goal kickers in this game? He can. Brisbane closed the gap to 1 straight kick.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about too much of personal goals. I've just looked at just getting to the bye and trying to play as many games as I can, and then reevaluate it from there onwards. So I was just trying to play as many games as I can, whether it was AFL or VFL, and whatever games I got in before the bye was just a bonus, and looked to have a big back half of the season. That's the goal, and I'm certainly looking forward to playing with Joey and Macca hopefully soon.